WWE Hall of Famer Stone Cold Steve Austin had his last match ever in WWE at WrestleMania 38 in 2022 against Kevin Owens in a no-holds-barred match. Excuse me. Excuse me. Since then, since WrestleMania 38, fans all over the world have asked the very same question that a lot of us have been asking ourselves. And that question is, when could we expect Stone Cold Steve Austin to have one more match in WWE before he truly hangs up the boots? Well, we found out that Stone Cold Steve Austin announced that he may have one more match left in him before he hangs up the boots. The interesting thing about this is that prior to WrestleMania 38, the last time Stone Cold Steve Austin had a match ever in WWE overall was in 2003 at WrestleMania 19 when he lost to The Rock. That right there was his last match ever, and he stepped away from the ring for 19 years, mainly because of his neck. If you guys were not aware of his neck injury, to give you guys a little bit of context with this whole ordeal, in 1997, I want to say 1997, Stone Cold Steve Austin was in a match against WWE legend, the late great Owen Hart, and Owen accidentally broke his neck using a pile driver. This led to Stone Cold Steve Austin leaving WWE for almost a year to repair his neck. Since then, Austin knew that he would be on borrowed time, and for the most part, he was. That's why he retired from full-time competition in 2003 and came back for one night only at WrestleMania 38, 19 years later. Prior to now, the last time we saw Stone Cold Steve Austin in WWE on WWE TV was at WrestleMania 41 just a couple months ago, when he announced the attendance record for WrestleMania 41, which across both nights featured 124,693 fans. That means that on night one of WrestleMania, we saw 61,467 fans show up, and on night two featured 63,226 fans showing up. And the reason why there were more fans on night two than there were on night one, it was mainly because of the main event of night two, that being Cody Rhodes and John Cena for the WWE title, which obviously became one of the most historic moments in WWE history. Excuse me. Watching John Cena go from 16 to 17 world titles. Is that a massive feat? 100% yes. Can it be broken? Yes. 100% it can absolutely be broken. But who could break it? There's only two people that can pull it off. Randy Orton and Charlotte Flair. I highly doubt anyone else will be able to pull that off. Not Seth Rollins, not Gunther, not Jey Uso, not CM Punk. Hell, not even Roman Reigns will be able to pull off that feat. Only two, and that would be Charlotte Flair and Randy Orton. Both superstars have a chance to break 17 and go for 18. Now going back to Stone Cold Steve Austin, Fightful actually reported saying that apparently it does appear that Stone Cold Steve Austin is keen on lacing up the boots one more time. Fightful's report also stated that multiple sources around WrestleMania 41 weekend claims that Stone Cold did say that he might have one more in him, one more match in his arsenal. And obviously, you guys know that at WrestleMania 41, Stone Cold Steve Austin accidentally crashed his ATV into the ringside barricade, knocking down a fan in the process. And obviously, he did apologize for it. But that's what happens when you drink on the job, ladies and gentlemen. When you drink on the job and you're driving an ATV, make sure you know what the fuck you're doing, because apparently Stone Cold Steve Austin did not. But obviously, you guys already know it made for some excellent content at WrestleMania. And obviously, we know that Stone Cold Steve Austin made an appearance at the Hall of Fame ceremony as part of as part of this new segment that they do, where they induct certain matches into the Hall of Fame. This year's class featured the infamous submission match at WrestleMania 13 between the Texas Rattlesnake and, of course, fellow WWE Hall of Famer Bret the Hitman Hart. Interestingly enough, this actually makes Bret Hart now the only 3-time Hall of Famer in WWE history, which has never happened before. But it could very well happen again at some point, with the fact that guys like Hulk Hogan, Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and Ric Flair are the only two-time Hall of Famers in WWE history. So we could potentially see, at next year's WrestleMania, in next year's Hall of Fame, we could potentially see Ric Flair and Shawn Michaels both get inducted with their match at WrestleMania 24 in the Hall of Fame, which is very possible, but we'll have to wait and see. But as far as Austin goes, however, now there isn't much of an update on Stone Cold's physical condition at the moment. But Fightful also reported that multiple people who saw Austin at over that weekend claimed that he was open to the idea of having one more match. There had been some people that were thrown into the hat of being Austin's potential last opponent. One person was been brought up multiple times, was CM Punk. Obviously Punk and Austin had a bit of an interesting segment a number of years ago. To give you guys some context on that, Stone Cold Steve Austin was the guest host for Monday Night Raw, and it was known as Raw All Stars. This episode of Raw featured literally WWE superstars of the past, the present, and the future, and they were promoting at the time WWE video game WWE All Stars, which you could play as pretty much anybody. You could play as John Cena. You could play as Hulk Hogan, The Undertaker, Eddie Guerrero, Ultimate Warrior, Randy Savage, I think Randy Orton as well. There were quite a few you could play as. Even also The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin. Obviously, for me, I had the Nintendo 3DS version of the game, but unfortunately, I did sell it. Unfortunately, I think I traded it off, either sold it or traded it off for a different game. But excuse me, excuse me. But still, it was a pretty cool game, a pretty cool video game. Um, and this also took place I want to say post Tough Enough, where Big Andy won the whole competition, if you will, but he never got signed, as apparently some things happened to him. I don't know if it was health issues, legal issues, or what the fuck, but yeah. Yeah, Big Andy never got signed, unfortunately. But that segment, we saw Austin and Big Andy drink a beer, and CM Punk showed up. Still the leader of the new Nexus, and just completely berated Stone Cold Steve Austin that night on Raw. So it could potentially, that could potentially mean that we could finally see Stone Cold and CM Punk go at it one-on-one, which is very possible. We don't know if it's actually going to happen or not, but but um but I will say, I think Stone Cold Steve Austin having yet another match in WWE um might end up becoming one, not, I wouldn't say one of the worst ideas, but one of the most interesting ones, I will say. The reason why I say that it's an interesting idea is because whenever you come out of retirement, nine times out of 10, you could end up losing arguably one of the biggest matches of your career. Stone Cold Steve Austin, excuse me, at WrestleMania 38, it literally looked like he had not missed a beat. Um, Obviously, yes, there were a couple times in that match against Kevin Owens where, yes, the neck was targeted and the neck did hurt Stone Cold quite a bit, but once he hit the prize fighter with that stunner, we knew Stone Cold still had it. He still had it in him, but it could end up becoming a major mistake. And the reason why I say that is because when you suffer a neck injury and you return from that same neck injury after such a long period of time, every every person that you step into the ring with will target the neck. Look at Edge. Take Edge for example. When he came back to WWE in 2004 from his injury, Edge knew, he admitted in some interview that he knew he was going to be on borrowed time, and he literally was on borrowed time, and the injury literally caught up to him right after WrestleMania 27, when he was able to retain the world title against Alberto Del Rio. That being said, 1 week later he knew he had to retire, which was unfortunate, but he was able to come back to the ring after 9 years. He's doing his own thing outside of WWE, and apparently he still has a little bit left in the tank. But I think the only way for Edge to truly end his career is if he came back to WWE, which which is going to happen. There's been rumors that the promotion he's with now, there's been a lot of rumors that his deal with that promotion could come to an end sometime later this year, maybe even later this summer. So we could expect Edge to come back sometime in the next year, which is probably bound to happen. Now, as far as Stone Cold Steve Austin goes, he's had more neck surgeries than any other person that we've ever known in WWE. But for Austin to be able to have yet another match might be a bit of a far-fetched idea, but it could also be a very big mistake on Austin's part, because whoever he ends up in the ring with will target his neck the same way that people targeted Edge's neck, the same way that people targeted um, Nikki Bella's neck as well. Even also John Cena's neck as well. Even he had neck surgery right after SummerSlam in 2008. I want to say he came back less than what, 3-4 months, and instantly went on to become World Heavyweight Champion at that time. So there's definitely a lot to consider. But I will say, I think if there was one person who I would love to see be Stone Cold Steve Austin's very last opponent, crazy as it sounds, I think it would have to be potentially not CM Punk. I think, in my honest opinion, it has to be Dominic Mysterio. And the reason why I say that is because if you're gonna call yourself the greatest Mysterio of all time, if you're gonna call yourself the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time, then you have to step up to a man who helped make that very same Intercontinental title relevant. And that man is Stone Cold Steve Austin. He's the one that took the Intercontinental title and brought it up to the levels that we've seen now over the course of the last 3-4, maybe 4 years or so, which is almost about the time that Gunther became champion at that point. So for Dominic Mysterio to step up to a guy like Stone Cold would be pretty cool, but we will have to wait and see. Obviously, we don't know exactly when we can expect Stone Cold Steve Austin to show up. However, we do know that at Saturday night's main event in a few weeks, Bill Goldberg, WWE Hall of Famer Goldberg, will have his last match against Gunther for the World Heavyweight title. Now, there has been a lot of rumors that Goldberg could potentially win the title and then drop it on Raw the very next Monday, which is possible, but we will have to wait and see over time, because obviously Goldberg had one hell of a run in WWE. He had a hell of a run the first time. He had such a crazy run this time around, dating back to 2016. I get that there are some fans that don't like Goldberg, but even those fans can agree with me when I say that Goldberg is indeed one of the greatest world champions, not just in WWE history, but in WCW history as well. But again, we don't know exactly who Austin will face for his last opponent, if it does come to pass. If it doesn't, I think his match with Kevin Owens, it's just perfect. It's perfectly fine. I think it's fine for Kevin Owens to be Stone Cold's last opponent, but we'll have to wait and see. But with that being said, that'll do it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel and you guys want more WWE topic videos in the future, then be sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and as always, make sure you guys are following me on all my social media. All of my ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.